Rahul Arora is now with us. He's in our studios, Chief Executive Officer of Nirmal Bang Institutional Equities. Rahul, good morning. Good to have you with us here. How are things looking, Rahul? Let's start with earnings, because I looked at earnings on Friday for a program, Editors Roundtable, and 100 out of the 200 companies had reported till last Thursday. More have now. And what I found is that if you look at upgrades to full year FY24 estimates and downgrades, it's still more downgrades as compared to upgrades. And, we're talking about the first good half of the earnings season, not the latter, which usually tends to be a little worse off. What is your own reading? What's your team making of it?
So first off, morning, thanks for having me. So I think, Prashant, it's been a 1,400-point rally since the last RBI meeting when they paused. Obviously, this has priced in the fact that probably there won't be any incremental rate hikes in India at least, and the inflation print speaks to that account. I think the IIP numbers were also quite dismal. And I think the first signs of the recession are showing up in the United States. I think if you looked at the last GDP print of the US as well, it fell from 2.6% to 1.1% quarter on quarter, and consumer sentiment data on Friday was at a 6-month low. So I think signs of slowdown/recession are definitely sort of visible, even on the housing side. Even the pending home sales data is down about 5%. That being said, I think, as you rightly pointed out, these results have come out in the backdrop of a not so bad global environment, which has not fed into India just yet. What worries me, Prashant, is that when you talk about earnings on aggregate, let's take banks, which is 40%, and it's only going to get bigger with Jio Financial Services coming in as the year goes on. Banks are currently operating at peak ROEs, peak net interest margins, best asset quality, the best of deposit credit growth. And now the challenge is going to be on deposit growth, and you're starting to see NIM compression coming in. So bank valuations may actually be tough to sustain at these levels because NIM compression is very visible sequentially in some of the banks. FMCG, while if you look at it in pockets, has been okay. A Nestle or a Lever has been okay. Asian Paints pretty much blew the lights out. I was very surprised with those numbers. But still on the rural side, you aren't seeing that kind of commentary. And then you have IT, where you had a soft quarter in the backdrop of, again, like I said, a not so bad US quarter, right? And that worries. So if you take FMCG, IT and banks, that's about 60% of your market right there. You add Reliance to it, that's about 75% of your market. Reliance looks to be doing its own thing. I think, there are too many businesses, and I think that's going to probably wear itself out. But if these three sectors don't participate from an earnings perspective, it's a little hard to make a case for the market moving higher or even making new highs. Am I surprised to see the Nifty at 18,300? Terribly surprised, because as you said, I don't think earnings have supported it, and we're looking into a slowdown. So I would say if you've made your money, great, take some profits off. I think it's going to get a little more challenging before it gets better. But then again, I think if you're factoring in FY25 numbers and the recession is behind us, it's all about what your starting point is, right? I think you'll justify, as that famous dialogue of Amir Khan in Street, it's all is well. So it's just about what you want to justify, and you'll find a way. But I think if you're looking at FY24 earnings, there's a little bit of pain ahead, is my sense.
As they say, markets make opinions, right? Opinions don't make markets. But for now, it's really quiet. Just want to point out a couple of stocks. By the way, GE Shipping is up almost 7.5%. The management commentary was also quite positive, and that stock is reacting to its good set of numbers. Manappuram Finance is the other one that's up almost 3.5%. Good numbers there. And of course, Tata Motors is the big mover this morning from the, Nifty or the frontliners. DLF as well, up about 2%. But